Okay. All right, y'all. We're gonna go over our cross side position, side control position, escaping it, and then I'll give you some tips to hold the person from top position also. So the first one that we're gonna do is just a basic side control escape. One that is probably the highest percentage for me personally, going to the butter half position. You can try to stretch it and go all the way to closed guard, and in some situations you definitely should. So we'll touch on those and then two other escapes that we've been doing. So James is in cross side control. I want to make sure that I'm not bringing my elbow up, because this what happens here is he starts to put his head down, and then the head and arm triangle choke will start to happen. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing my forearm in on both sides. I'm going to hold his shoulder like it's a football. So like it's a football, I'm a quarterback dropping him back in the pocket. It's over my shoulder. And I'm just going to push him down my body. I'm going to take one step, and that's where my shrimp happens. So I've got my football. I push him down my body. I take one step, and now I turn my hip and push him in a diagonal motion instead of straight up. I don't want to get caught in this bench press position. I want to push him here. So when I do that with my step and shrimp, it opens up a space. If you'll walk over here for me, please. It opens up this small space right here that my knee can go all the way through. Go back over here for me, please. Thank you. So we're in this good position. Remember, our elbow's not over the top. We put our forearm in. I push him down my body, take a step, and get all the way to my hip. I run to my hip, bam, and my knee shoots all the way in. We can stretch and go all the way to closed guard for the most difficult escape, if you ask me. It's very, very difficult to get into the closed guard position when someone is already past you. So I'm here again. I bring my forearm inside. I'm holding my football. I push them down, take a step, rotate, and bring my knee all the way through. So whenever I shrimped and brought my butt back in, I'm pushing them away. Now I can either shrimp a little bit more to get this butterfly position in, or all the way through to close guard. James, turn this way for me, will you please? Stay right there. So he's in side control. Sorry, James. We're here. Push all the way away. My knee shoots through, and I can put my hook inside the leg. This allows me to keep him at bay with not just my leg that he can now put pressure on, but this one that I can elevate him with. So if James decides to push pressure, I can put the underhook in, elevate him, and catch half guard. Here with this elevation of the underhook, and we've accomplished escaping to a much easier position. So what that looks like in full time: inside, football, run, hip, push through. That's the first escape. Let me press stop for me. So the next position we're gonna have is when I can't get this hand inside. James is being really tight and I can't move this position, but I can start to here when I put my hand to his bicep and separate this grip, which will give me access to this cat claw grip. Now the golden rule is gonna be broken, which is not turning my back to my partner. But in this instance, I'm gonna have to. So I chop his waist to make just a little bit of space, and I turn my hips into him. And when I do, I'm gonna punch my hand down my leg. So I go here, I chop, I shrimp my hips into him, and I punch his knee in. Now notice I brought my knee inside, and now I have this to where I have taken off the pressure of this shoulder. So if James tried to shoulder pressure me here, he has to move his leg up in order to get any kind of pressure. So here, other leg, James, and that puts his shoulder down. That gives me the space to rotate and start to fight for a spider guard or open guard position. So cross side position here. His head is tight. I can't rotate in. So I make sure my elbow's in and I turn my body to get into the crook of his elbow. I can push that away in order to get this grip. This might happen in other ways. His leg might be here. It might be on the opposite side. It might be a lot of different places, but just get to this grip. Now I push away, shrimp into him, and bring my knee into the crook of his elbow. I can extend it here, and now I'm in a position where I can shrimp back into him. I can push away and shrimp back in to start to play a position that we're comfortable with. Here again, his head's low. I chop my waist, get to extend here just to make my hips move so I can break that grip. Shrimp back in. Now I'm in a good position where the pressure is gone to fight for a different position. The last one is going to be where I hit a Darce position. You only have one shot at this. The first time you do it, you will end up catching the person that you're going with, your partner, off guard. The second time you do it, you might get lucky. The third time, they're going to know and they're going to sit on your arm as you spin out from underneath them. So I showed this in no-gi class, but whenever I have the gi, I have a cheater. I can grab the back of this collar, and I'm going to take this hand and break another rule and put it all the way on the other side of him. So I dig my hand in, and it is now all the way underneath him. You can see it from all the way. So now I'm going to push away here. I'm going to elevate him, and I'm going to spin towards him. Excuse me, I'm going to spin away from him. My head will go and face this direction. So I bridge, I elevate, and I bring him over the top of me. Like I got a big Johnny Bravo haircut. Now I rotate through, K-sit, and I can bring him back to me in this position. Do it again. I'll also end it with a Darce, which is extra cool. So again, I'm going to grab the outside, I'm going to break the rule and put my hand all the way over. I'm not going to grab the hip. Do not put your hand to the hip. Put it here underneath the armpit. You're going to have better leverage here, and you won't get your hand sat on if it's down by your hip. If it's down by the hip, you will get your hand sat on. If it's here, he can't sit on it because his butt's not that big. So when I bridge, I'm going to elevate, and I'll finish with a Darce in this position. Bridge, elevate him over my Johnny Bravo haircut, spin all the way through, bam. Now I can lock it up into the Darce.